Hey guys, how you doing? It's me, Victor here, and this is a spoiler review. Of course, if you guys read the title of Avengers Endgame. Now, right off the bat, I have to say it like this: I enjoyed everything of this film. I enjoyed the slow pace that actually had a very good build up to the conclusion to everything, sending off the characters, in my opinion, giving them a proper send off. Now, I'm really glad that we got to see Hawkeye at the beginning of the movie, when him and his family are just hanging out, and they quickly disappear, which sends him down the path of vengeance. And Tony and Nebula, they're in space, and the food and the power supply are running low. So low that Tony looks like much more skinnier than last time we seen him, and oxygen is beginning to deplenish. Period. Tony makes a one last minute message to his wife Pepper, to if she ever gets it or so, he'll be able to leave her with a last minute message as a comfort of so. And it really takes an emotional tone, like really you feel it. It's not just from the perspective of what they're going through. It's from the perspective of what they're feeling as they go through, if that makes sense. So let me just start off the bat by saying it like this: Captain Marvel comes down. She rescues Tony and Nebula, bringing them back to Earth, where they are actually reunited with some of the remaining Avengers. Captain Marvel, yeah, she brought down the ship. Tony came down. It was Steve. It was Pepper Potts. Black Widow, War Machine, and Rocket was there, and we got to see a little comforting moment between Rocket and Nebula, which was very cool to see. And it shows that yes, they lost family, and they are in the same boat, and they gotta pick up their head and actually try to do something about it now. So now they're in the meeting room, and they're talking about, back and forth, like how they're gonna find Thanos and this and that. And Captain Marvel, she's instantly, hey, how you doing? How you doing? If you're joining, yes, hey, how you doing? If you can see me, thank you for joining. So basically, here, so as Tony and everybody's just talking and going back and forth. Sorry. Tony just gets up and says, I had enough of this crap. I just wanna get out of this. I wanna start over. I don't wanna be near this anymore. I don't wanna hear Thanos' name, period. So that's where he rips the thing right out of his chest. And he starts to collapse and fall, and everybody starts worrying. And I don't know how you can words can't really put how cool this actually turned out. I was afraid on since it was a 3 hour film that it was gonna lose steam, but they just did a really good job on this, because not only do you see everybody just getting back up on their feet through all this devastation and loss, you get to see something. You get to see how everything turns out, and it has that slow pace. I'm sorry if I'm actually not making sense, because I'm trying to find the perfect words to actually balance out this review, and I'm not doing a good job, but I'm trying here. I'm trying. So let me just go back here for a second. Because this movie is still on my mind. This is the second time I've seen this film, and it's still good. I gotta see it again, at least 10 more times. 10 more times, then I can die happy. But anyway, after Tony rips out the thing out of his chest, he collapsed. They have to put him quickly in bed. Pepper by his side is watching over him. Hold on, I'm sorry. As they're watching, as Pepper's watching over Tony, they finally find Thanos on computers or so, and they get on a ship and they travel to this planet that Thanos is on. Thanos is on this planet. Yes, yes, it's so good. It's freaking good. So basically, here as Captain Marvel, she leaves the ship. She's like floating over the planet. She turns to the rest of the Avengers. She tells them, "I'm gonna look over the planet, scan, and see what I can find." As she scans, the group is talking amongst themselves, saying, "Okay, we gotta plan this out, right? Because if anything goes wrong, we don't know how this is gonna really turn out. We only got one shot here, one shot." Captain Marvel comes back, tells everybody that he has no security, he has no weapons, no soldiers of any kind, period. So they said this makes it much more easier, but we still don't know the odds here. But they still go in, and Captain Marvel, she just blasts. We see. Oh, hold on. Here we see Thanos on the planet just picking fruit. He's a farmer and everything now, and he goes into the shack and he puts some of the fruit or vegetables in the pot he's cooking. And as he's just relaxing in front of a fire or so, a blast comes right through his roof, hitting him. And then what's his name? Oh my god, Bruce. He comes in, the Hulk Buster, grab him up, grab his arm, and then War Machine, he grabs him from behind, and Thor comes in with the hammer and cuts off his arm, takes the gauntlet, and Rocket flips over the gauntlet and everything, and they find that the stones is not there. So he's like, "What the hell? Why is the stones not there? Wait, what did you do? What did you do to the stones?" And then Thanos explains that everything he did was for the universe. He did everything for him. Everything is good now, like this. And then he gets punched in the face by Bruce, saying, "You killed like millions or billions of people," and everything like that. And I believe they did mention like it's 53% of the universe or the population or something like that. I know I'm skipping over some things here, but you know, let's just carry it on. Let's carry on. So then, okay. So then, what happens next? Thor just cuts. Not cut. No. That doesn't happen yet. Thor is actually looking at him like he's about to just chop his head off. But he's holding back because they want to know where the stones are, and you can see in Thor's face that he wants to really murder this dude. Period. Thank you. So, so basically, on so far, oh gosh, shoot. I'm losing my train of thought here. Hold on. So Thanos, he's there, he's being held down by everyone. Thor, he's looking at him like, "I want to cut your head off," blah 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 blah. And that's when Thanos explains that he wished the stones out of existence, and he didn't need to do anything anymore. A War Machine believed that he was lying. But then that's when Nebula walked forward and said, "Oh, no, my father is everything, but he's not a liar." And that's when Thanos says, "Thank you, daughter. Thank you. I did everything for me." And then he gets his head cut off by Thor. And that's what Thor said exactly what everybody else was agreeing upon when Thanos said this in the last movies, Avengers: Infinity War. You should have gone for the head, and that's when everybody kind of clapped. But some people in the theater was like, "Ah, is this the end?" One person I remember in the theater said, "Okay, that's it. The Avengers won." He was about to get up, but everybody started laughing and everything like that. The theater I went to was very lively, and everyone was laughing and everything and talking amongst each other. Everybody was positive, and when the the serious moments came in, everybody shut up. No one was talking. And surprising yet, no one really had their phones out. This movie had everyone really compelled, and I really applaud the Russo brothers for doing that because you know long movies tend to lose steam, but they did a good job. So anyway, let's speed it up here. So 5 years now pass by, and Scott Lang he comes back from the quantum realm when a rat actually hops up onto the dashboard, stepping on the controls to the quantum device that they had in the back of the van, spitting Ant-Man out, Scott Lang, and then he writes a sign, he shows it to the camera, and a security guard happens to be actually right there watching, like, oh my god, who's that? Now the security guard I think was Bobby Lee. I think it was Bobby Lee because I remember Bobby Lee from Mad TV, old show kind of like Saturday Night Live, which was really cool show. So, security guard gives Scott Lang some of his stuff, some stuff to go. And as Scott Lang is traveling down the street, he sees how trash and leaves and everything just looks like a mess. A kid comes riding by him on a bike, and he says, he asks the kid, "Hey, what happened?" The kid just looks at him and just says, "Shh, please, I have nothing to say to you, sir." So that's when Scott manages to make it to the memorial of where all the they had all the stones where all the people names on it and everything, all the people who vanished. So he starts looking for a sign of some sort of where people of his family members are on the stone. He says, please, no, 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 no. And he finds his name on it, and I believe someone else's. But he rushes home. He doesn't even think. The next scene, he rushes home, and he knocks and bangs and ring the bell, and out comes his daughter, much older because it's 5 years later, and they share an emotional scene, and that's where we cut back to the Avengers headquarters. Captain America and Black Widow, she's speaking to some of the other Avengers on a hologram device of some kind. Everyone is posted in different parts. Of course, Wakanda. You have War Machine. He's in Mexico. I can't remember where Rocket and Captain Marvel is, but they're somewhere around as well. But Captain Marvel ensures that she won't be seen for a while because everything that is going on Earth has happened in space on thousands and thousands of other planets. So that's about what she can do, is that she has to go out there, Captain Marvel has to go out there and provide support. So of course she's not going to be seen. Now here's the funny thing, a little bit funny to me about this. In Captain Marvel, the way they were building her up was as if she was going to be something of a standpoint for the film. Like she was going to kind of lead with Captain America. She was barely in this film at all. She was like in the first 20 minutes of the film, and then all of a sudden the last 13 of the ending of the film, like they never ever hey, Black Widow, see, they connected to each other. Hey, Black Widow, yes through Skype. Yes, Skype. All right, so yes, it was Skype. To me, I thought thank you for correcting me on that. So yeah, so everyone, oh shoot. So then what happens next. Uh, Black Widow. Oh my gosh. So Captain Marvel, she left now. Everybody goes from the Skype, and War Machine. I always call them by their tag names. They're there. He's still there, and he looks at what's her name? He looks at Black Widow, and he's just standing. And she says, What's going on?" He says, "We found some dead bodies in a certain location. It turns out it was some kind of cartel of some sort, and they know it was Hawkeye, but he's going by another name from the comics, Ronin." I never read any Hawkeye comics or Ronin, but I know of the character. Yeah, so it was cool seeing him actually take on the Yakuza, by the way. But getting on to I will mention that a little bit later. So what happens next? This is where it comes to a little bit of a loss for me. Hold on here. As War Machine left his Skype, but the channels are always still open, as Black Widow says. Like, anybody has anything to report, you can come to this channel. This channel's always open. As Brody leaves, in comes Captain America, Steve, and they have a little fun, a little bit of an emotional banter as well. And like, we don't know how we're gonna really get through this, how we're gonna really move on. The best thing we can do is to watch over Earth, but we gotta make some kind of plan here, something. I don't know. That's when they get a message, and Steve turns around and says, "Hey, wait a second. Is this message old?" He said. She said, "I don't know." Black Widow, she says, "I don't know. I really don't. Yeah, wait. The date is today. The day is today." So that's when they let in Scott. He's got to say, "I know you remember me. Ant-Man. It's like no one remembers Ant-Man. Now, here's the interesting thing. He comes in and just pushes on with the quantum realm. He starts saying, "Hey, have you guys noticed that know anything about quantum? And is anyone gonna eat that sandwich? I'm starving over here. So he goes over to eat the sandwich. Steve says, "Focus, man." Skype, yes. So he, Scott goes over for the sandwich. He gets everything, and oh my gosh, hold on here. He eats the sandwich. As he eats the sandwich, he's explained that if we can actually create a device that will harness the quantum realm, and not only that, he started to explain what the quantum realm was. That's another thing I liked about the film. They always took their time to explain exactly what was what. They didn't go into like the science mumbo jumbo, eyeglasses shaking like, I'm so smart. They didn't do that at all. Instead, they took their time to explain it to everybody in the best way, and very direct. No fancy long words like 13, 14 letter words or anything like that, which was really good for me because I can't keep up with stuff like that. But anyway, Scott explains what the quantum realm is, that it's a small universe, and the only way you can get in, yes. The only way in, yeah, the sandwich that he made, yes. The only way in to get into the quantum realm is if you get really small, and get in. And they're gonna need help building this device. Someone who's very vastly intelligent, and that's where I keep saying Captain Iron Man comes in, and they come in, showing Iron Man here with his daughter. And it's cute and everything like that. And she has the little helmet on and the little the blasters and everything like that. It's really cool. It's really, and he's just enjoying his life. And as he picks up his daughter and they're gonna go inside the cabin to get some food, um, Captain America, Black Widow, and I believe Scott. Yeah, Scott is in the back. In the back, a little bit near next to the vehicle they just got in. They just arrived in, and they're giving Tony this look like, we gotta speak, we got something to tell you. The next scene is them all talking outside on the porch, and they're explaining to Tony that the quantum realm could be used to travel back in time and possibly get all the stones, and basically bring back everybody into existence. But Tony, he's so far gone away from this. He does not want to do anything like this. He just wants to stay with his second chance, which is his wife and his daughter. Now you can't really blame Tony. He lost. He blames himself for Spider-Man's death in the last movie, which freaking made me cry. Yeah, I'm really freaking glad that they brought everybody back. I really thought, well, yeah, that and no. Anyway, getting off topic here. Tony doesn't want nothing to do with it. He tries to get up, but in Tony's spare time during an evening, he dabbles with his one of his devices to see if he can actually build what do you call that? Like a quantum leap device of some sort he was working on. I forgot what they called it. The AI in Tony's lab did mention what it was, but I can't remember. But it's a device that's like a circle thing anyway. And Tony got it together, and he said, "I like, oh shit, I did it! Science!" And his daughter heard him, like she said, "Oh," he said, "Oh, no." She said, "Shit." He said, "No, hey, no, not supposed to say that word." He said, "What are you working on?" I got finished my shit. They had a little funny banter back and forth. But anyway, they get a little bit of what you call it, cheese puffs or something like that. He brings her to bed, and then he tells her a quick story because she asks for it, and he just says, "Okay, I see you later. Go to bed now." And she says, "I love you 3,000," and that comes back in the theater, in the movie later on, which is really cool. I actually really freaking enjoy that. It made me cry too as well because shoot, Tony and everyone is actually Tony is gone, Black Widow is gone, but anyway, goes out there. He tells Piper that he actually got this device and everything. But meanwhile, earlier I skipped over this part for a reason. Meanwhile, earlier, as Tony went back inside and ignored everybody and what they were saying about the device, they went to go look for another intelligent person, Steve, Black Widow, and Scott. They found Bruce, but now Bruce, he is actually he found a way to fuse himself. Cheese puffs. Yes, thank you, Hunter. Thank you, cheese puffs. He found a way to actually meld himself together, like with the Hulk and his own intelligence. So he has the body of a Hulk, but he has all of his intelligence there. He's still Bruce up here, which is cool. And yes, they start telling Bruce that they need him to help build this device that can harness the quantum realm. And as they're talking, kids come over for a selfie, and Bruce says, "Oh, hold on. Yeah. Come on, say green." And he gives the no, hold on. I'm sorry. He gives the camera to Scott and asks Scott to take a picture of them. To Tony, AI is known as Cheese Puff. The Tony AI. Oh, really? I don't. Cheese Puffs. Wait, really? That's That's cool. I, I so here he gave. Oh gosh. So here we go. Ah gosh, lost my train of thought again. So Hulk gives the kid's phone over to Scott and asks, and Hulk says, "Okay, can you just take a picture of us?" So as they take a picture of them, they say, "Okay, green." Say green, green, and as they take picture, that's when Scott mentions that, "Oh, I'm Ant-Man. You want to take a picture with me? You want to take a picture with me?" They don't even know who he is. They're looking at Hulk, and it's a little funny. Benji like, "Oh, they're Hulk fans. They don't know who I am." And it's like, "Come on, it's okay. You want to take a picture with Ant-Man?" And they're just looking at Hulk, and they're looking at the guy. It's like, um, Captain America and Black Widow. They're just sitting there awkwardly, sipping. I think Black Widow, she's sipping her soda as. No. It's Captain America. He's sipping his soda, and Black Widow, she's just giving this awkward expression like, "Come on, can we move it?" Thank you. So I don't know. It's just this little quick funny banter. So after the funny haha, the kid Scott hands the kids back his phone. They walk away, and Hulk just says, "Hey, be good to your mother. Listen to your mother. Your mother knows best. Okay, let's get back to business now. Okay, so you guys are telling me about this and that about quantum and everything, but I don't think it's not gonna work the way you guys think it's gonna work. And let's just get back to let's just try it out. At least it's funny, and nonetheless, next scene, which I okay, this is part where they start testing the machine, testing the quantum machine, and everything like that. I'm sorry. Tony, he's on his way over to the Avengers headquarters as they're testing the machine. Scott becomes a guinea pig for the machine, and when he gets sucked into the quantum realm and then spit back out, he's a little bit much older, if I'm correct, and then he turns like into like a baby, and then back to his normal self. Just trust, guys, it will work. Maybe not. Yes, he did say that. Yes. Was it Hulk? Was it Hulk who said that? I think yeah, I remember that line, but I don't remember who it was. So as it was spinning Scott and everything out in and out of the quantum room, he was coming back. Hawk. Okay, yes, okay. Hawk. So Hawk said that. So yeah, and that's another thing. Everybody who was starting to come in was not really sure, of course, if it was gonna work. But Tony, he arrives with this device on his like a device that actually will help them keep stable as they're traveling through the quantum realm, which is also unique how they actually went in altogether. And I'm gonna kind of skip a little bit of ahead here because I know I'm talking way too long and I don't want to waste your time, anything. I think I'm wasting everyone's time because I'm stuttering like crazy here. But I really enjoy this film. I gotta watch this again, and I probably have to take down some more notes because I'm really just saying it off my head right here. I have some papers here, but I'm barely even looking at them because I want to actually try to focus and say it from the top of my head. And I'm not doing a good job, but I'm trying here. God. So as they find a device to help them keep stable as they're traveling through the quantum realm, Hawk actually is a test dummy at some point. He does actually promotes himself to like as a test to actually try and see if it will actually work. They actually go in. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, Hawkeye becomes a test guy for the Quantum Leap. And as they go into the quantum realm, he goes back exactly to the farm where he and his family are living, and he hears his daughter, you know, shouting, "Where did you take my headphones?" And he just zooms to the door. He just says, let me see my daughter. I gotta see my daughter." And then he just he looks, he hears the thing going off. He says, "No, no, no!" Boom. He goes back to his own reality, and he tells everyone that it works. So now that's where Thor. I remember this part is so funny. Thor, they have this little area that they took for their own. It's called New Asgard, and they travel down there. I know I skipped over a part as well. The part where Scott is making a taco, and the taco gets, some of the taco stuff gets all the vegetables and stuff gets blown out of the taco, and Nebula comes walking by, and she communicates to War Machine saying that be careful, there's an idiot right here. And he comes down, War Machine comes down, and he says, "Hey, what's up, regular sized man?" And he walks off, and then Hulk comes out of nowhere, and he just gives him a sandwich. Ho ho ho, Green Giant, like one of those Green Giant commercials that you guys see on TV. Like that's what it reminded me of. It was really cool, and Hulk. He looked totally calm and just smiling while he was doing it. And that's when they did like a little mini montage of them traveling to New Asgard. And Valkyrie, she's there, and all the Asgardians, they're just working the harbor area, which is really actually cool to actually see powerful Asgardians just working the 9 to 5 like shift in a sense, which is really cool. Seeing something a little bit normal in that spare time. But that's when Rocket and Hulk comes out, and they start, and they, a little funny banter between Valkyrie and Hulk, and she's explaining to Hulk that he doesn't want to see anybody in there. She's referencing Thor. So they say, "Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're gonna go and see him anyway. Everything is gonna be good. We just have to stay focused and confident." So they go knocking on Thor's door. No one answers. They come right in, and Thor actually says, "Hey guys, how you doing?" He's chubby. I'm chubby myself, but he's like chubby now. He gained a lot of weight. He has a bare belly, and he's drinking a lot, and he only goes outside anytime he needs more beer. So he's just a total drunk, and he kind of looks like the Big Lebowski with sunglasses. Later on, and Tony actually makes a reference to him actually looking like the Big Lebowski. I never seen that film, but I know of the character. Jeff Bridges plays the Big Lebowski, and he actually has the whole pajama thing going down with the gray shirt and the robe going on, which is really funny. So they try to convince Thor to come back, and they say Thanos' name. That's where Thor actually says, "Don't you say that name. Don't you say that name." And another funny little thing that actually happened there was when they actually had what's his name? The Rock dude. I can't remember. He's played by the director. He's voiced by the director, and played, I think, motion captured as well by Taka Waititi. If I'm saying his name wrong, I'm sorry if I said his name wrong, but he was the director of the last Thor movie. He played the Rock dude, And he said, hey Thor, that guy is there. And they actually show on the screen Fortnite, which my nephew is a big fan of and everything like that. And I remember him squealing out like, yeah, nice Fortnite and everything like that. But Thor came over with the and took the earpiece and said, "Hey, noob master, if you don't get off, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna find your house in the basement you live in, and I'm gonna chop off your arms and everything and take them off. Or you're gonna run away from mommy or something like that. Run away to mommy." Thank you. Um. Okay. um. Cool. So, basically, on the other hand, so you had Thor, who is just cursing out like a child over the mic, as everyone knows that that's how online everyone like cursing out people for no reason sometimes. But Thor, of course, he had to give us the PG version of what you really would hear on the internet, like cursing and everything like that. But yeah, so after convincing Thor to at least try, we have a plan. He says, "Fine, okay, but I don't know if I can really go through with it, but I'm gonna at least try." So he comes back. He has a little Big Lebowski thing going on, and they just get to fixing up the machine and everything. And as they plan and get closer and closer to the final pinpoints of the story here, you have they finally know what they want to do, so they know exactly what order they're going to do it. They have all 6 stones that they need to get, and each stone was interacted with a Marvel character at some point. Peter Quill, who plays Star-Lord, he interacted, I believe, with the Soul Stone. So I think they will have to go back into Guardians of the Galaxy 1, if I'm correct. Which is really cool. And then I forgot, the first Avengers movie back in 2012. One of the stones was in one of the stones, or I think Loki had one of the stones on him. If I remember, it's been such a long time since I've seen that. But they go to each of these certain movies in these certain specific moments, splitting up into different teams to go in and getting the stones one by one. Of course, Tony, he gets to see his father, which is very, very sentimental, very cool. Because I remember seeing they kind of ended off like I can't remember which Avenger movie it was, but Tony was in a hologram, had a hologram of himself or something, and he was explaining to people about the trust fund. No, the Civil War. It was Civil War. The trust fund with Civil War and everything like that. There was some kind of trust fund, some kind of student program that the kids were part of, and he was explaining something, and he showed a little demonstration of young him as like a CGI version of himself with a CGI version of his parents and speaking and everything like that. And the way that ended was his father kind of not really agreeing with him and getting angry at him and just leaving. So it was nice to see some reconciliation there in that scene with Tony and his father, and I really glad that he hugged his father, and it's and his father said, do you know that guy? He asks his driver, and his driver says, you see plenty of people, sir. And he says, he just looks familiar. So, skipping on a little bit of ahead now. Hawkeye, this is the point that really made me almost cried in the crowd. I'm a baby when it comes to emotional moments, but there was Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch. Oh my god, Black Widow, where they made it to where the Soul Stone was. and oh my god, Spectre or Spectre. I can't remember his name. He was originally the Red Skull. He comes in and he says, "I know both of you. I'm gonna explain." He explains like, "Oh, you are the daughter, and you are the daughter of this person, and that person to Black Widow, and you are the son to of this person, that person to Hawkeye." And he explains that the only way, I mean, no. I'm sorry. Let me back that up. They demand the Soul Stone. The Red Skull tells them if only if it was that easy. The only way to get the Soul Stone is equivalent exchange. If I'm correct, soul for a soul. So just like what Thanos did to his daughter Gamora. So that's when they say, "Oh my gosh." So we really are going to actually have to decide here who is gonna sacrifice themselves. And this is where I clenched my freaking knuckles, like saying, "No, I don't want this. Why is it happening like this? Couldn't they just like try to go back at that moment when Thanos had the Soul Stone after he got Gamora?" I don't know if it could work that way, but they could at least kind of think out of the box there. But I didn't want to see anyone die, and they. So Hawkeye and Scarlet. I keep saying Scarlet Witch now. Black Widow were saying, everything's gonna be good. I want you to go home now. I'm gonna sacrifice myself. And then Black Widow says, "No, you're not. I'm going." And they start fighting. And he says, he says, tell Hawkeye tells Scarlet Witch, tell my family I love them. She says she knocks him down and shoots him with the sting gun that she has on her wrist. And he says, she says, "Oh, tell him yourself." And they just continue fighting until Hawkeye wins, jumping off the cliff. I don't see it as a win, but it was like literally a race to see who could kill themselves first. It was like, no, this is not what we need right now. Hawkeye leaps. He gets a rope. What do you call that? I know the what do you call that thing? She shoots the like a rope onto Hawkeye's waist or on his back that attaches to his suit, and then they tumble over, and then he grabs her, and then she says, "Let go of me." He says, "No." She says, "Let go of me. It's okay. It's okay." And then she manages to let herself free. She falls to her death, and I just let out a gasp, like. Like I could not believe that. It's like, no, wait. They have the stone. If they get all the stones, they can wish her back. But it just hit me. However their reality is, it's going to remain. So anyone dies, they are going to stay dead. Hulk. They managed. Tony and what's his name? Scott Lang, they managed to get up to the tower, to Avengers Tower, where Loki is just captured by Hydra. But at this time period, they didn't know. Not Hydra. I'm sorry. Shoot. Oh my gosh, what's his name? Nick Fury's guys. Shoot, I can't remember their group name now. Yeah, that's true. You don't see that every day. Like they literally wanted to hop. Like who wanted to see that? I did not want to see that. I did not want to see no one. I know I'm repeating myself here, but no one wanted to see them actually. I wish it could have found something like the Russo brothers could have found something outside the box. Not dealing with time travel, but something like completely that we would never think of. But at the same time, we weren't thinking that they were gonna do this. So, yeah. So the next thing I remembered was that so I keep saying Scarlet. With Black Widow, she sacrificed herself. Hawkeye, he gets the Soul Stone. He lets out a manly cry. Yes, it is. It is very painful. You live, but your comrades die. Very painful. That is true. So Hawkeye, everybody returns, and everyone says, is like looking like, okay, did everyone make it back? Everyone's safe? Hulk, Bruce, he looks at Hawkeye and asks, hey, what happened to, Black Widow? And Hawkeye, he can't even speak. His expression is just at that right levity. That right levity, like, he's expressing that, I can't say anything like this right now. I can't. And suddenly, Hulk, he drops to his feet. He hits the floor with his fist, and they cut to like them standing on the pier. Oh no, my battery's running low. Yes, ha ha ha! Yeah, 3000. That was really cool because the end of the film as well. So I'm gonna try to speed it up here, so I can get to like the really cool part, which I really enjoyed, the ending, really much. I loved everything about this film, but the ending was just satisfying. So they had the more emotional moment where they were, feeling down that Black Widow, she's dead, and Thor, he says, no, we can fix this. We can definitely fix this. We got all the stones. We can just wish her back in existence. That's where Hawkeye explains that no, everything that stays, everything that's in our reality will stay like how it is. So if someone died, we can't bring them back. I understand you don't want to believe that, but it's just how it is. Yes, you're welcome. It's like really. So basically now they get the gauntlet, their own little personal gauntlet that they made. Tony made for them, and Rocket kind of like boo, and scared the crap a little bit of Tony and Hulk and everything. Oh, another good emotional moment that I skipped over was that Thor got to see his mother again, and that was really cool. And the last thing she said, "Eat a salad, eat a salad." My mother sometimes tell me that too. So yeah, he's that, but I try. But anyway, and he puts his hand out and he gets the Mjolnir, the name of the hammer. He gets the hammer back, which is freaking awesome. And then he says, "I'm still worthy. I'm still worthy." I was gonna say he still comes. Oh my god, he still comes. I'm sorry. So anyway, he gets the hammer. He gets the hammer, and then Rocket gets them back, and that's when they meet up with the rest of the group, and then the emotional moment when they see that Black Widow, she's gone, but they managed to make a gauntlet, put the stones into the gauntlet by Tony, and then they said who's gonna actually do it. Thor says, "Oh, I do it. I got it here." Everybody's like, "Oh no, no, no!" Immediately when that happened, the whole crowd in my movie theater started laughing their faces off, literally. Like literally started like laughing and everything because it was kind of funny how he approached. But I got it. Everything's gonna be Sweet, everything's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. So they said no. Hulk says no, 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 it's okay. I got it, and that's where Tony is kind of holding back Thor, and explains, oh, yes, I know I never got to read that much Punisher comics. I got to read some, but not as many as a lot of people, because a lot of people are familiar with Punisher. I'm not familiar with Punisher that much, but I've seen the Netflix show, which is really good in my opinion, and everything, and so, but that's you wanna know, be cool. Oh no, no, let me save this for the end, because that would have been kind of interesting if they actually put those guys in here, the Netflix cast. So I'm gonna talk about that too at the towards the end, and then give my proper send off, and then end the stream. So basically, Hulk says, any volunteers? I'm repeating myself. Hold on. Skip, skip, skip. Thor is saying, please let me do something good. I need to be useful. And Hulk says, no, it's all right. I got it. I can handle the gamma radiation in the glove. So don't worry about it. He puts on the glove, and then he snaps. I mean, of course, he goes through a struggle at first, and then he does the snap, bringing everybody back. All the birds, insects, people, the Hawkeye's phone starts to ring, and it's his wife. It's so freaking good to actually see something positive in this sad moment, because above, that's right, and skipped over one other detail. Nebula was Nebula's other self from the other realm. Switched places where they caught the Nebula of their reality, switched her out with the Nebula of the other reality where Nebula was working for her father Thanos. Okay. So basically now, Nebula, the other Nebula, she hacked the console, the panel, and just basically opened up the quantum portal that let Thanos into their reality, and that's when the snap happened and brought back civilization. But as Scott was walking to the window, and he looked out the window. He looked out the window and he saw the birds and everything. It was really peaceful, very cool, and just really interesting to see like everybody coming back here. Hulk, I believe. So I think it was Tony or it was Hulk who looked up at the glass window above the glass ceiling, and they saw like a missile coming down, and boom, boom, boom. All the missiles is coming down and hitting the whole building, and explodes the whole Avengers headquarters. In the rubble, Hulk is holding up like pieces, like huge pieces of debris on his shoulder, as Brody, he's caught underneath some rubble, and he gets himself out. Rocket, he can't breathe. He's caught underneath some rubble as well. Scott, he's okay because he shrunk. I don't know how he shrunk in enough time when he got hit back by the blast off guard, but movie magic, I guess. Oh, what? Okay, this is the whole epic finale right here. Everyone is just like kind of separated. Hawkeye, he's in part of the place, but in the dark, and the light is flickering, and he is growling behind him as he's kind of making his way through like the tunnel, something that looks the tunnel that looks like, and this. He shoots an arrow that lights up the hall, and it shows all of those demonic dogs from Avengers Infinity War that Thanos had. Or I forgot what they're called. Like mongrels. They start chasing him. down the hallway, and he's just like putting his arrows into the wall. He shoots like the Gatling not Gatling gun oh god, I can't remember, but he shoots the thing and launches himself up, and the dogs kind of follow, but he starts chopping them up with his katana, which is a very cool scene. And then he lands on top, and he turns around to see if they're still behind him, but they're all dead. And he looks down, and then he says, "Oh, rest." For just a few seconds here, Thanos, he teleports down onto the ground, and his daughter. I mean, no, Gum, no, Hawkeye. He's laying on the ground, and as he's laying on the ground, Nebula, who actually met up with her father, telling her father that they didn't even know it was her. They didn't have a chance. Thanos is saying, "Okay, I'm gonna be right here. You go get the gauntlet for me, and don't worry." Meanwhile, as she's going to get the gauntlet, and she gets it, by the way, from Hawkeye, Thor is standing there watching Thanos. Captain America and Iron Man, they make their way to Thor, and they say, "Hey, what is he doing?" "Oh, he's just sitting there." "Okay, let's kill him." "Are you sure about this?" "I'm sure." That's when Thor puts out both of his hands, and Mjolnir and Stormbringer comes to his hands like, "Jing." It's really cool. Really cool. Like, really cool. And he just says, "Okay, I was just seeing if you guys were prepared." And they make their way towards Thanos. And this is so cool. Iron Man, you have Thor, you have Captain America. Just like, this is gonna be a badass fight with three of the coolest Marvel superheroes in the MCU comic books. Because I know I read some Captain Marvel, my God, Captain America, and some of Thor's comics as well, and a little bit of Iron Man. But seeing this actually on the screen really felt like it was a comic book coming to life. Seeing them approaching Thanos, and Thanos saying, "After you get the stones from me, I'm gonna wipe this whole world away and then rebuild from scratch, and everyone is gonna know their place because I will be their ruler." And it's like, oh shoot, shut up, dude. Captain America, chop off his head, please. And then that's when the fight just starts, and it's kind of funny seeing Thor, because he has the little bear gut going on, but it's still badass as hell as they're fighting and everything. As they're fighting, everyone else is doing their part to get in position and everything, and the fight is going on. Going on with Thor. Thor is going like, I got to stand up to you. I gotta beat you up. Blah, blah, blah. I gotta do something. I gotta feel useful again. Thor starts getting his butt handed to him, and as he's getting beat up by Thanos, and he tries to conk Thanos over the head with his hammer, but the hammer gets smacked, and the Stormbringer also gets smacked out of Thor's hands. That's when Thor gets shoved into the rocks, punched a few times, tossed over, punched a few times more, thrown into a stone, and then as Thor is like on the stone, he puts out his hand, and Stormbringer starts coming his way. Thanos is making his approach to Thor, but sees the Stormbringer coming. Oh yes, exactly. They did. They did. So Thor exactly is right there, like with the Stormbringer coming. And as soon as it gets a few inches away from his hand, Thanos grabs it out of. Oh God, hold on. I gotta charge my phone now. Oh God, hold on. Here we go. Oh God, my phone. Okay. Oh God, my screen. Oh well, it's okay. I got it. I got it. Hold on. Got it. Okay. So, let me just finish it out like this then, because yeah, I have to put my phone on the charger. Apologize for that. So basically, here's the end here now. The as Thor tries to get the Stormbringer into his hands, Thanos grabs it out of the air and then tries to shove it into um into Thanos' chest. But yeah, they're having a big power struggle to trying to hold, trying to Thanos is having a struggle, is having a struggle to kill Thor. Thor is trying to like not get stabbed here, and then you just see the Mjolnir, shoot, the hammer getting picked up in slow motion, and as Thor is about to meet his maker, the hammer comes flying in the back of Thor's head. And the hammer comes right back into Captain America's hands, which got everybody in the theater and me, like everybody, screaming and putting their hands like, yeah! Yes! Yes! This is what we were waiting for! Yes! This is terrific! Are you not entertained? It's exactly what we needed right there. It's exactly what we needed. And then that's when the fight got really good. Captain America started beating on Thanos. I was about to say Thor. Thanos like beating him. I'm like do. But of course, Thanos starts to win again, knocks Captain America off his feet. But before that even occurred, Captain America gave Thanos a few good lickings, even summoning the lightning to the hammer and like striking Thanos with it before even going down. And I applaud Captain America's courage right there, man. I mean, that's so freaking cool how he just channeled the lightning and striking it down like multiple times on Thanos. And Thanos was even I have to give kudos to the villain of Marvel. Some of the villains, in my opinion, are just like okay, but then you have like villains like Killmonger and villains like Thanos, and that's like the only people I can remember here and there. But they are just really good villains. They're even compelling. I really have to say that. So towards the end now, as Thanos gives his last speech on he's gonna win and everything is gonna go his way, and then he summons his army, and they're all making their approach. Captain America says, "You know what? I'm not gonna go out like a bee. I'm gonna go out like a hero." He straps on his shield and he makes his way towards Thanos a little bit. But that's when he hears like a radio of Falcon say, "Hey Cap, look to your left." And then a portal opens and everybody in the theater starts going nuts. You see Black Panther, his sister, and I know her as Michonne from The Walking Dead, all coming through the portal. And then everybody else coming. You see Guardians of the Galaxy. You even see Peter Parker coming back. It's freaking good, man. It's like I was gonna cry. I wanna cry now. I mean, Jesus, it was freaking good. And that's when Black Panther starting his chant. Bombay. I remember, but it's a war chant. He started doing his war chant, and that's when Captain America says Avengers, and he puts out his hand, and Mjolnir comes right back to him, and he says assemble, and then everybody just charges at each other. Like Thanos' army and all the Marvel characters, all the Avengers, just crash and they're fighting. You have everybody. It's like everything you wanted is in this fight. It's so cool, and it like playing. It is at one point they're playing football with the gauntlet, like passing it, like Black Panther passing it to Spider Man. I'm sorry. Hawkeye passing the gauntlet to Black Panther. Black Panther passes it on to Spider Man. Spider Man passes it on to gets help from Valkyrie and also Pepper. Passes it on to Miss Marvel, who comes skyrocketing out of the sky, crashing into the ships and blowing up everything, and killing some more people in the process. And man, I was tearing up at this point. This movie was so freaking good. I keep saying that, but it's freaking good. So that's when Doctor Strange even makes an appearance, of course, and he and Tony have like says a little conversation, a quick conversation where Tony asks him like, "Is this is where it's supposed to be? And this is where it's supposed to happen?" Doctor Strange says, "If I tell you now, it won't happen." So that's when the fight continues. Spider-Man gets the gauntlet over to not Doctor Strange, Miss Marvel, and all the lady Avengers all team up to go take on all the other soldiers to give Captain Marvel enough time to get to the quantum machine that they are going to use, which they are going to use to actually get everything back in order. But it doesn't happen like that. Thanos ends up throwing his blade, his weapon into the quantum device, blowing it all up. But it doesn't stop there. He manages to get the gauntlet. Tony manages to get to the gauntlet as well, fighting with Thanos for getting knocked to his side. Tony looks up at Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange puts up his fingers like we only have like one chance. Like Vince McMahon from WWE, no chance. Oh yeah, no chance. You got no. That's no chance. No chance. You're the version of one chance. One chance. So that's when Tony manages to grab onto the gauntlet one last time and somehow puts on the switcheroonie on the gauntlet, like taking the stones and putting them on his gauntlet. And then Thanos says, "I am inevitable." And he snaps and nothing happens. But then that's when all the power goes to Tony's gauntlet. He says, "And am Iron Man." And he snaps and killing all of Thanos' army, including Thanos himself. He just sits down and he just evaporates into nothingness. So that's the end for Thanos and all of his warriors and his soldiers and everything. Everything is just good now. Like all what this has been building up to, we can finally take a breath of relief. That's how it felt. But sad enough, Tony slowly perished. But at least he got to see his boy Pete. At least he got to say hi and goodbye to everyone. And they had a funeral for Tony, and Tony says, "I love you 3000," left a message for his daughter and his family and his friends and everyone who's associated with him, including Happy. Happy, who we haven't seen that much in the MCU that much, because, they have to concentrate on other Marvel characters. The last but not least, we were told that there was no end credits. I don't know. I'm gonna go see this again, probably later on this week, to see if there are end credits, because the lady who came in, one of the workers of the movie theater, shouted to everyone who was waiting at the end that there was no end credits. But anyway, So it was up to now to after the funeral. It was up to Captain America to bring back the stones back to their own time, so their own reality can be in the balance. I mean, in those realities can be in the balance. But when it's time for him to come back, he doesn't return directly to the eggs. I mean, to the platform. He returns somewhere else as a much older guy, and Falcon makes his approach to Captain, and he says, "Hey man, how are you doing?" And Cap, he looks up at him and smile and says, "Everything's just good, man." I mean, no, he didn't. He just gives off a smile like something great has happened. He's more elderly. Something has happened, and that's what Falcon says. Is this supposed to be? Is that smile a good thing or a bad thing? Did everything go according? And he says, "Yeah, everything is sweet." They exchange one last words, and Captain America passes on the mantle to Falcon. So Falcon, within the comics, I already know this, stays as Captain America. I mean, stays as Captain America for a short period of time, and then it goes to Bucky. And that's where Falcon asks him. He says he will do his best as new Captain America, but can you tell us about the girl? And he says, "No, I'm not going to tell you," Captain America says. And they shake hands, and Captain America reveals that he has a wedding ring, a wedding band on his hand. So he got to really live out the life he wanted. And I feel happy about this, but a little bit uneven. I like that the mantle was passed on, and we are going to see the mantle of Captain America carry on. But in truth, I would like to see Bucky. But that's just me. And I'm glad that we got to see the last scene was Captain America slow dancing with Peggy, the love of his life. And it was very peaceful, and they shared one kiss, and it was the end. Now, the overall, I would say the movie, the only thing I had a little problem with was the slow, but at the same time, the slow pacing, but at the same time, sorry, it was just really good. I'm really glad that I got to see this. I'm really glad that after 10 years, it wrapped up in such a beautiful way, in my opinion. I'm glad everything just turned out the way it is. I'm repeating myself, but boy, I'm glad. So this was my spoiler review for Captain America. I would say Captain Marvel, Avengers Endgame. It was just really good, in my opinion. Really good. See it again. The only little thing I have to say about it is just it has a slow pace but a perfect execution, and I will see it again. Period. We're already getting Homecoming, and we're getting Dark Phoenix. Oh yeah, they are working on the X-Men. They are working for the X-Men. Coming to the MCU next. So, but we won't see them probably until 2020 or 2021, from what I read and what I've heard from Kevin Feige. But the movie was just terrific. Period. So I'm giving Avengers Endgame a 10 out of 10. Period. A 10 out of 10. Okay. So, I see you guys later. Peace. And thank you for watching.